Good morning. Good morning. What's up, Switch leaders? I'm going to send this video. I'm going to try to do this going forward of things that went well last night, some things that we can improve on. I think that'll be a great way for feedback on both sides to just kind of be available to you where it's not just waiting or something like that. So last night was a great night. We had a record-breaking night. It was just incredible with what God is doing in our church. My wife and I we were literally talking last night and this morning, and we just don't understand what he's doing. It just doesn't make any sense. But we're gonna go for it. Like we're just gonna keep letting him do his thing, just being thankful and being good stewards of what he's bringing to us. So last night we had a record-breaking night of 184 students. We had 37 new students and 14 salvations. It's incredible. But in the details of the new students, that's great. Last week we had 164, and so we had 20 more students this week, 37 new ones. And so we're losing quite a few every week. And so we got to dive deep into how we can solve that problem. So I'm going to resend out the WWK, West Wichita Switch Training document. It's in the resources tab of Slack, but specifically the retention and follow-up process. So the first night of Switch, okay, just so that you know, the first night of Switch, our operations team sends out a card thanking the student for joining us at Switch every single week. And then they also send a text to mom and dad thanking them that night. Hey, thank you so much for coming to Switch. So it's your responsibility as a small group leader to send a follow-up text to the new student and the parent the next day thanking them for coming to Switch, or that same night. Whatever it looks like, I need you to do that. That's the best way you're introducing yourself to the student. Don't wait a week, literally the night of or the very next day. That's the rule in place. Okay, so the rest of this is, hey, what do we do if we have students who are just absent? So if there's students absent for 1 week, Switch small group leader sends the student a text. That text is simply say, hey, we miss you at Switch. I hope you're doing all right. Can I be praying for you? All right. 2 weeks absence, Switch small group leader writes a letter to the student. Hey, we miss you so much at Switch. I hope everything's going well. Hope school's going well. Hope sports are going well. We love you. We're praying for you, etc. 3 weeks absent, we send those students a card telling them if they bring it back, they get some cool swag like a wristband or a t-shirt, something that everyone likes, fresh gear. And then if it's 4 weeks, Switch leader gives the student a call and tells them they would love to see them again. Ask the parents if there's anything they could be praying for them for. So it could be student or parent in this matter. But also keep in mind that if we're connecting with mom and dad, if we're partnering with parents, we're going to have the equity with mom and dad to get some information about, hey, this is just a busy season for them. Maybe they're doing poorly in school, or whatever it looks like. Once you're partnering with mom and dad, you'll have it in terms of what's going on. So 2 things we want to ask ourselves as Switch group leaders. Are students afraid of what they would miss if they didn't come? Are the students afraid what they miss if they didn't come? Then number 2, are kids talking about Switch the next day? Are they talking about Switch the next day? Is that a real thing? So those are just a couple things that we just want to address. A couple things to note from last night. Great energy. It was awesome. It was fun. It was exciting. Leaders, you were all pumped up. You were excited. All those are great things. I'm just going to highlight some areas that we can improve on. Let's see here. So during worship on the far right side, so if I'm on stage far left, but when you're walking in the building far right side, we have a cluster of guys and girls who are being distracting every week. And so if they're dancing, that's cool. I don't care about that. But we don't want the guys dancing with the girls, number 1. Number 2, if they're super close to each other talking, leaders, step in, remove them, be there. Like, just do that, please. You have the authority to go over there and to break them up. It's a distraction for the other 90% of Switch who wants to worship, okay? So if you see something, don't wait, don't ask, just respond in a loving manner. Hey, certain students, you're being distracting right now. So what we're going to do, we're going to separate you. Guys and girls, we're actually going to have you come over here and we're going to have you go over there. You guys are being distracted to other people, and that's not what we want for this section of the night. Boom. And if they don't like you, they don't like you. That's fine. You're not here to be their friends. You're here to be their leaders. There's a difference, okay? So during worship, we do not want distractions. And then, let's see here. Something else I noticed I noticed some leaders just kind of standing around watching them. just don't do that. Seriously, don't do that. You have all the authority. I've given that to you to go make a difference in their lives. Let's see here. Bathrooms. The girls' bathroom was flat out disgusting last night. I had Patty. Patty mentioned that it was just really bad, and she and I think a couple of leaders cleaned it up last night. She mentioned it looked like there was blood, so it might have been some type of juice, but there was tampons and things like that, womanly items that were just trash in the bathroom. And switch leaders, that is unacceptable. That is unacceptable. And that's not on you by any means. That's on our students. However, here's what we can do as a team and as leaders. If you notice that your students are gone longer than 5 minutes, literally go check on them. Go see how they're doing if they're going to the bathroom. If there's big clusters of students go to the bathroom, I need you to be proactive to go over there and make sure everything's okay. We don't want any fights breaking out. We don't want any students doing drugs, stuff like that. We have to be proactive. We cannot have a melancholy approach to, okay, well, this is going on. No, let's be proactive. Let's keep an eye on our students. So if you're not a small group leader and you're in the audit or you're in the lobby during the message and you see a big wave of students come over, pay attention. Hey, what's going on? How can I help you? If they're going to the bathroom, that's cool. You don't need to follow them in there, but just keep an eye on them. But if they're in there more than 5 minutes, go in there and see what's going on. And if something needs to be happened, the conversation needs to be had. Pull in a coach, Patty, Sean, Rochelle, pull my wife in, and if I'm available, you can pull me in, have that conversation, or even that student small group leader who would probably be the best person, pull that small group leader in and be like, hey, we don't do stuff like that. Okay? So we definitely want to keep the bathrooms clean, but also the auditorium. We had cups and bags of chips everywhere. And so leaders, reach out to your students and lead them this way. Hey guys, last night was a fun, awesome night of Switch. We just noticed there was lots of trash. So as this is all of our church building, our expectation is that you clean up after yourself. So say it over Group Me today. Celebrate all that God has done, but even reaffirm it on Wednesday night. Hey, if we're going to do this, let's make sure that the area is clean. It's nice. We're picking up after ourselves. And that kind of is a perfect segue into auditorium chairs. We're not going to pick up and remove chairs. We're just not going to do that. The chairs are going to stay the same, period. Pastor Joe for the host team, he has his chairs a certain way in the auditorium. We're not going to pick up and remove them. If we need students to spread out, that's cool, whether it's the row in front of you, the row behind you, or as Rochelle and Sean open up the third side, we will open up a side of curtains one at a time, allow students to sit in the front row and work their way back. We're not going to move chairs. We're just not going to do that. Then, lastly, one more thing of this. Parents who want to hang out. If a parent does not have a conversation with me, they are not to hang out. If a person in this building does not have a conversation with me, they're not to hang out. They have to have a background check. They have to. I don't care who it is. They have to have a background check. And if I don't talk to them, they're not going to stay. It's that important. I can lose equity with not only parents, but I'm not trying to lose my job over someone else coming in the building that I didn't approve. So nobody, and if you don't feel comfortable having that conversation, text me. Let me know. We can go over what to say, what not to say. Make sense? Cool. Then switch support. So there's been some. I sent out an email a couple weeks about that. I haven't talked about a lot of it because I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it. It's something very new that we do, but it's very similar to Life Kids Buddies in terms of we have leaders who will partner with a student in particular who might need extra attention in any sort of way. So last night, in the last 3 nights, we have a student, a 7th grade girl. Her name is Angel. Angel is on the autism spectrum, I believe, is what I've been told from different leaders in our church. And so I believe that's the case. I have not checked, but I need someone to step into a switch support role, which means that you would literally be partnering with her every week. And so some things that she was doing yesterday, blurting out loud during the message. She came up to me 7,000 different times to have a conversation with me, which is okay. But at some point, if it's every single week, then we need her to be plugged into a small group. Like that's where the conversation needs to be had. Okay. She raises her hand every week for salvation. She doesn't understand it. And so I need someone to literally say, hey, I'm going to be the leader who hangs out with Angel all night long. And so if that's interesting to you, let me know. If you have any questions about that, I can get a lot more resources into your hands. Again, bathrooms need to be clean. Auditorium needs to be clean. Switch support, I'm going to start recruiting more leaders for that. Worship, we need to lead our students not to be distracting, but to engage in worship and to worship God with their fullest Parents, no parents are hanging out. No adult, if they don't have a background check in the building, they can't stay. Chairs for ushers, or I'm sorry, chairs for auditorium, no chairs to be moved. And then lastly, at the end of the night, I need the greeting team to get outside, not to come to like right after we dismiss at 8:30. I need greeting team to go outside and make sure students aren't being stupid. Seriously, that's your role. Go out there right away. Outside of that, I don't think I have anything else. Please make sure you're connecting with parents. I talked to a couple parents last night and asked if they had gotten a text from a small group leader. They said no. And so if that's you, do it today. Let's just be better. I love you guys. If you have any questions, always remember who finds God finds life.